Hello. Let's discuss something about communication skills today. One of the most important skills that anyone could possess. Why is it one of the most important skills? Because if you look at anything that you're doing, it involves communication. Look at any role that you're playing, whether in your personal life or in your professional life, you will notice that communication is involved. And that is why if you continue to make an effort to develop this skill, you will notice that various other skills by default they start improving. Understand this. And why is it that people have challenge in communication? One of the biggest reasons for that is that they have sense of fear inside. I have met people at very senior positions, and what do they say? They say, Vikram, if I'm talking to 4 or 5 members of my team, that's absolutely fine with me. But when it comes to standing up and talking to 50, 100 and more number of people, that's when I'm not able to express myself very confidently. What do you think is the reason? The reason is only there's a fear inside. What will people think of me? That is what is the biggest challenge. And one suggestion that I gave to one of very senior executives in an MNC is that please do not go with that intention that you want to impress so many people. That will happen eventually. But go with the sense that you want to enjoy this experience of talking to 100 people at large or 500 people at large. And then you see whether your performance is different or not. See, we go with the expectation in advance. Right? So that is what becomes one of the biggest barriers, that our own noise inside, what will they think, whether I'll be able to convey my message, all this noise becomes an obstruction in your clarity, in your expression, right? So, communication skill. Now, what is one of the challenge that comes into play in communication? You may not have heard it, but it's important to mention here. Why is it challenging to help other people understand us? The simple reason is communication does not happen at a physical space. All the communication takes place from one mind to another mind. That is the biggest challenge that comes up in making communication effective. What you are saying and what the other person is understanding can be entirely different. Let me share an example with you. There's a case that was put up to a judge in a court that this person did not park his vehicle at the right place. So the judge said that, Mr. Gentleman, you look to be quite an educated person. Why did you park at that particular place? He said, I read a notice board there where it was mentioned, fine for parking. And my understanding of the word fine is, it's okay to park here. That's why I parked it. And the judge actually dismissed the case. So that is why it is important to understand what you want to say may be understood very differently by other people. So this is one important aspect of being good in communication. Now, one important thing that you must understand to become effective in communication is that meaning of the communication is the response it gets from other people. I'm repeating this. Meaning of the communication is the response it gets from other people. What does it mean simply is that the response that you get based on your communication is the interpretation that they had. And if the response that you got was not matching with your expectation, that means you need to change the way you are communicating. Simple. For example, if I'm making an attempt to reach out to my superiors with some request and they are not paying any attention to that request, obviously it means that they are not getting convinced with your request so far. that means you need to find another way to express the same thing. It may just be choice of another words. It may be timing of the request that you're making. So all these things come into play when you want to become effective in your communication. Remember this phrase which I said, meaning of the communication is the response it gets. Now let's come to making our communication effective. What do we do? First important thing that you need to understand about making your communication effective is that, remember, communication is a skill, and any skills improves only when you practice that. Without practicing, you cannot expect yourself to become effective in your communication. Practice is an absolute must. You can think of any good or great actor in cinema. Why did they become great? Because of practice of so many number of hours, and that's how they reached that place. Whether you take the name of Amitabh Bachchan or whether you take the name of Nana Patekar, they became effective because of the practice they put in. Come to sports. How is it that people become the best players in sports? Because of the practice. Same thing applies to communication, and as you start practicing more and more, you will notice your communication starts shining. You will start becoming more effective in your communication. There will be more ideas flowing in my subsequent videos. Keep tuned in, and yes, remember, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that.